right, welcome back, folks. It's nice to have you with us. We're looking through the fixtures at the moment. It is all happening at City Park this weekend. In studio with us, joins us. He's going to join us for the Score Energy Drink Competition. It's his favorite show, part of the show. Renzel Botman. Renzel, nice to have you back.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jobs. It's I think it's been a long time since I've been in studio, but it's always nice to talk about club rugby.
Yeah. So give us your thoughts quickly. City Park this past weekend. What a day of rugby. We know that you were watching it all.
Yeah, so unfortunately I couldn't be there, but yeah, watching online. So thanks to Super Sports Schools for that.
Yeah.
Look, the first thing you see is the fans.
Yeah.
I think that's where the barometer came in, fan factor. But it was so neutral because the field was so full of fans, so no one had like of the fan factor on the day.
Yeah.
So even if it wasn't your fans, there was other fans that supported. So I think, but looking at looking at the rugby itself, I think from the beginning of the season to where the guys ended, I think congratulations to all the teams that made it to the semi-final. Because maybe they won or lost one or two games, but I think the way they played through the season, it just shows that it was the best of Western Province Club Rugby at the end of the day.
So I've got to ask you, one of the things, you've been involved with Cape Rugby TV for a long time, and you've also helped us focus on the building of women's rugby. We spoke earlier on about Brackenfell Blue Jets, Van der Stel, Busy Bees, but we've spoken about the other 20 or 18 teams in the league during the season so far. Your feeling for the women's rugby on the day?
Yeah, since 2016 when I started at Cape Rugby TV, and I think Ali alluded to it earlier, is the growth of women's rugby until now. And you can see it in the Springbok women's rugby team, because there were two or three players in the Springbok team that played for Busy Bees, and going to Busy Bees, recording there while they're training.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking, while I was watching the Springbok, I was sitting next to Carla Nokia from Brackenfell, watching the women's rugby, and I thought, these are the players, and I watched some of the highlights afterwards as well, and I thought, Renzel and us, we have actually interviewed and had most of those ladies in the team on Cape Rugby TV.
Yeah, look, we've had BB multiple times on TV.
Yeah.
She's been in studio. You had her in COVID on online. So just looking at them playing in the biggest stage of them all. You can say to yourself, like you've been part of that.
Yeah.
Growing their media presence on the end of the day.
Yeah, Alistair.
Yeah, it's just the journey, man. The journey is a great storyline, for them, and just where it is today, and they can only grow.
Yeah. Now we're extremely proud of the fact that we're part. That's what Cape Rugby TV is all about, folks. All the clubs, all the fans in Western Province Rugby, and so we're really proud of everybody there. Let's take a look at the Spot the Team competition. This is where you have an opportunity to win yourself a case of Score. Today's picture is a fantastic picture. Now, it shouldn't be that hard for you to tell us who the winners, who's in this picture. But let's quickly take a look here, folks. There you go. You see it on the screen now. You can't see the full name, but you've got to tell us who's in this team. I don't know. Do we need to give a clue, Renzel?
Besides the clue that probably everyone can see, if you drive on your way to Somerset, they'll be on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
You can't miss the field.
Yeah. All right, there you go. That's your clue. Go and join us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Let's take a look now at this match. This was Villagers up against SK Walmers. They played on the A field at City Park this past weekend to determine who was going to be in the final against Hamilton's coming up this weekend. Let's take a look. All right, folks, there we go. It was a win for Villagers, 44 points to 31. Gentlemen, and Renzel, I'm going to go to you first here. The success story for me is the SK Walmers. I know they didn't win on the day, but anybody who's looking at this, I must say, I have never heard of a team coming through, thinking about where we were last year this time. They were playing a playoff game, coming through to a semi-final. I haven't seen any other team do that. The trajectory from being at the lowest in the league to being in the highest in the league, SK Walmers have, I must say, I think it feels like they've broken the records.
Yeah, no, definitely. We've been talking a whole episode about journey, and I think that's so SK Walmers this season. I think there was one thing I said in the beginning of the season is that what's great for SK is that they started very early with the pre-season. Normally they start late with pre-season. This year they started early, so they were fit, they were ready. And I think in this game, Villagers just struggled to defend that structured chaos of rugby that SK almost played. That running rugby you can't defend that.
All right, Alistair, this coming weekend, we have the two oldest teams in the country going head to head.
Yeah.
Whatever comes next, whatever we talk about here, and it was all these success stories, Villagers and Hamilton's, it's going to be their day on Saturday.
Another derby with the two oldest clubs in the Western Cape.
Yeah.
Besides being in the final, they both made it to the Gold Cup as well.
Yes.
So it's been a great season for both teams.
The quality of, you saw the quality that Villagers brought to the table. They're very physical.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say really very expansive. You would correct me if I'm wrong. SK, I saw a lot of running rugby, which we expect. Villagers, I saw more contained. And we saw something similar from Hamilton's against Durban.
Yeah, I think both teams are more structured than SK. So you can look, going into Saturday's game, you can expect that. More structured game from both sides.
All right, folks, let's take a look here at your fixtures then coming up this coming weekend. Starting off in Super League A at 2 p.m. Be careful of the clock here, folks. Make sure you pay careful attention to the times of the games. Women's rugby starts at 10:45 on the A field at City Park. And then at 12 noon, it will be Young People's and All Saints, as well as Kraaifontein and Belhar. That's Super League C and Super League B. And also in Super League C at 12, it's Violets up against Gardens. All right, so those are your fixtures. And then, of course, in Super League B, let's go back to the fixtures here. We see it's Primrose against City Park, and, of course, Villagers against Hamilton's. All right, gentlemen, very quickly, Renzel, Super League B, prediction, Primrose and Franschhoek? It's not really fair to ask any predictions. It's all so close, Just you're expecting a good day of rugby.
Looking at all those teams, it's going to be a massive day of rugby, chaps. Quality all over.
Yeah, Alistair.
Yeah, look, especially from 12 o'clock onwards, you're going to see running rugby on that A field. I mean, even on the B field, it's spectacle.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, remember, it's all happening then this coming weekend at City Park. Get down there. The day starts early, 10:45. Women's rugby, Van der Stel and Brackenfell. They've had an incredible season. Get down early and come and support at City Park. Everybody who loves Western Province Club Rugby is going to be there on the day. Renzo Botman, your plans for the day on Saturday?
At City Park.
At City Park.
At City Park.
And Alistair?
Yeah, I'll probably be there as well.
You'll probably be there as well.
Yes.
All right, just before they name the stadium after you, you've got to get in there, apparently. All right, folks, that'll be a wrap from us then tonight. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place, where we bring you the highlights of the finals that are happening at City Park this weekend. And then, of course, just a final thank you to Super Sport Schools, who kindly shared the game highlights with us, courtesy of Western Province Rugby. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.